Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. on the East Coast of the USA, uh, Eastern Time Zone. Hey, welcome. Welcome. Dadman Walking 55 here with you tonight, and, really with an interesting show that we've got coming up. It is, a continuation of kind of a series that has come, started sprouting up, growing. I'll throw it in there a little bit. One idea from a regular chill chat with me as a solo to now having various guests come on talking about certain topics and certain things. So this is really a great show, and I am excited with the lineups that we have coming up, in the next few weeks and even a few down the road that is too early to talk about. So let me remember the banner. Yay. So thank you all for your support here. Enjoyed the time here. Leave a like and hit subscribe on the YouTube side. Follow us over on the Twitch side. We got 83 followers on Twitch. Let's see if we can get to 100, and we've got 233 on the YouTube side. So smash that like button and subscribe. Bring your friends, dogs, neighbors, cats, drunks, everybody else. We all have a good old time here together. And that's what we aim to do here is just friends having a good time hanging out with each other, talking about some things, and really just having a good old time. If you've seen some of our Fortnite streams, like last night, it was all a big riot. So, but we love riots around here. Well, we love the metaphorical sense of the word riot around here, where it's just chaos and gas stations in a video game get, rearranged or renovated, by my driving. So, like I said, we are here on a Wednesday night. Let's see, down the road. Okay, looking forward to some events. Tomorrow will be a day of definitely kind of an odd day tomorrow because we've got May the 4th, and the plan is to do a collab dual stream in the daytime with Amanda Gillen Presents with some Star Wars, and then who knows with that. And so tomorrow I have the day off. Yay! So maybe we could do a 10-hour show tonight. But I will tell you, I've got a guest here that is so special that I think we could go 24 hours, just the two of us talking about anything that's out there. When I even suggested Fortnite, it's like, hell yeah, Dad, man, immediately. No hesitation. Let's go do it. You've seen this wonderful lady. If you follow her on Twitter, oh my God, the food pictures is just beyond belief. And we're going to look at the garden tonight and see a lot more. But hey, she's always in chats and all the way in so many different communities and stuff. And such a pleasure to meet if you get to talk to her in person, and definitely a blast when we play Fortnite. Let me welcome in the great Lisa from YouTube. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Dad, man. How are you?
I am good tonight. I am good. How are you doing?
I am good. So excited to be here to share what I do during the day before I hop on YouTube and cause trouble in chats.
Yes, you do. No, but not quite as much trouble as you cause in Fortnite.
Oh, well, I am addicted to Fortnite.
Oh,
I used to game a lot, and then I stopped. And when you invited me to, or I watched Geeks and Gamers and Mark C play Fortnite. But then when I started talking with you, I was like, well, I really want to start this again. So when you offered, I was like, okay, I'll think about it. Well, 2 seconds later, I was like firing up Fortnite, practicing, and I love the game, and now I'm addicted to it. So, and I have such a blast with you and the missus. So, yeah, that's
absolutely
so much fun.
Well, that's what we like to hear. We like that. We've got the theory of we like to play with people, and especially people at different skill levels. Some have been gamers, and it's easy for them to pick up and go forward, and others it takes a while. Excuse me, to get going. And you have a problem when you're the slow one, or you feel bad, or you feel inadequate that you can't keep up with everybody. It can get frustrating and stuff. And we've always taken the attitude we like to talk to people. I love to talk, so invite people in, let them come in, teach them game, let them play at their own pace. If we win, we win. If we lose, we lose.
Well,
You know,
the part really is when you say screw it and let's go blow up a gas station. Well,
yeah,
of course you don't feel like you have to win every game or battle, just
no,
having fun and laughing and joking and oh, it's so
hmm
much fun.
yeah. That is that is one of the things that we love to do, is to just have fun with the game. And we got so many people that watch it with us and stuff now, and
It's a
it
really
just
good group of people.
yes, it is. And we take pride also. We've always said this, that that we we really like it when people play with us and then go play with other people, or they go to other shows and stream with other people. I mean, we take pride in that we've done a little part to help people get comfortable with the game, and have fun, and that they can go out and play it anywhere they want to with other people.
Yeah. I've played with Old Grumpy
Mm-hmm.
and Jed Revan and Anime Night, and really good people. They're way better than I am, but they're gracious enough to let me tag along for a bit.
Yep.
And um, no, just really solid people. So it is a really nice community to uh, meet people and play a video game. It's the best.
Mm.
Historically,
Yep.
I generally would. I'm a loner, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I played golf, which is a loner sport. I was a swimmer. Team sport would be volleyball and soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, even with video games, I like playing by myself. I guess that's why I like gardening, because it's kind of a loner hobby.
Yeah.
Miniaturist, and that's a loner hobby. Collector, that's a loner hobby. So it all kind of wraps into like my game style. And you kind of brought me out of my
Yeah.
loner. And so to be part of your group has really brought me out of a shell
Mm-hmm.
and able to open up. And like today, I'm willing to let people take a peek into my world, whereas before I never really cared. Where I guess I still kind of don't care, but I'm willing to share what I got going on. So it all kind of comes to a full circle of growth,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
gardening growth, you know, and just becoming a better person, more open, I
Well,
guess.
well, thank you for the kind words. And
It's
you
all
know,
your fault.
it's all my fault. Yes,
You and the missus.
we create little monsters to run around, but
Oh,
that's
yeah,
that's.
for
But you
sure.
know what? The world's a lot better off for it. And I know people are going to enjoy seeing this stuff tonight and hear what you have to say with gardening and other things, and then because that's one thing, you could take it and hide it away from everybody, but maybe the world's blessed, or maybe somebody else, you spur somebody to have an idea, or somebody may come by and maybe they're having a bad day and say, hey, this looks nice. So that's the one thing, is if you go out and share with other people, you might make somebody's day.
Well, like I said earlier, people see me in YouTube chats and having fun. And I guess to let people know this is what I do before I hop on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube and have fun with everybody. I do a little bit of work, or a lot of work actually. And then I come and I kind of just want to, I guess, let some steam off or vent, or, but in a fun way, not in an angry or uh, uh, upsetting way,
Mm-hmm.
but just, hang out with people because I've been alone all day in the garden. So then I come to YouTube chat, and now Fortnite, which, oh, I'm telling you, I love it.
Well,
So,
you're a natural. You're a natural, and you talk very well on air. Because a lot of times people get shy about talking, and no, you had no problem with talking. So
well, yeah, you kind of open that floodgate up.
hey, there you go.
You never know what's going to come out of this mouth now.
Oh, there you go. Hey, you're at home then. You're
I
at
am
home.
at home. Yes, I am.
Well, let's say hello to the chat real quick. We got 5 people watching us. Let's go. We'll look through, and it's always an honor to look up and see this. The first chat: Snortapoopas Cuber, hello humans and other critters. It's always great to see you here, sir. I never thought I'd get to say. He's always Snortapoopas has always got the best opening line everywhere he goes, and I never thought I'd get to say it like that, and now I get to say it because Snortapoopa is a great loyal viewer. So thank you. It's an honor to get to say that.
Well, and with Snort with Twitter, he puts so much funny stuff that I would have all my likes
Yeah.
of his stuff, but I hold back because I don't want him thinking that I'm after his fur, and to make a code after.
Exactly. Well, but see the mushrooms. That's the mushrooms is the peace treaty.
Yeah.
But hey, Snort says, warning, the bear made it to Sonic today on one bacon double cheeseburger combo with tater tots. Bear is on food coma alert. All right. Well, hopefully you stay around with us and you make it through. All righty. We got the Lisa. And Lisa's here. Hey, in super. Well, we'll have to poke the bear. Oh, no.
Well, if he's in a food coma, I think we better poke him a little bit to keep him awake. Wake
Well,
up.
look,
We got gardening to talk about.
I know. Well, look, he thinks that you're after the white coat.
Yeah, no.
Coat. And hello to the great and glorious, the beauty behind the operations here, Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. Awesome. Thank you for being here, my love, and good to see you. And our guest, Lisa. Hi. And, of course, Fortnite. And let's say hello to one of our young friends, Ness. Hey, Ness. Glad to have you tonight. We're doing something other than sports ball. We're actually going to talk some gardening tonight, which I think is going to be fascinating and really, really cool. So I hope everybody enjoys it. And
Well, if
hello
you want to throw a sports ball question, we could try and tackle that. So I mean, it's a Chillin stream. You want to throw a ball in the middle of my flowers? Go right ahead.
Sure. She's not the mean old lady that will come cut your head off for the ball. And hey to you, AFK Bard. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, AFK.
Oh, and AFK says, Lisa, you're awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. You are too.
Hey, Whoopa Troopa made my day. Whoopa Troopa thought he was like a rarity, but on Twitter he went public with ketchup only on hot dogs. That's a man after my own heart. Ketchup on hot dogs. So
that's a staple. Gotta have it.
Exactly. Hey, love it. Whoopa, glad you're here too with us. Let's see. Snortapoopa say, hey, Castle. Hey, Castle. Is Dadman listening better this evening?
So far, he's doing wonderful.
Hey, Lisa's the one that had my back last night. So, but hey.
Well, it gets confusing playing and then trying to figure out. So I totally understand what you were going through.
Yeah, it was new. I knew how it worked in past seasons, but last night I just couldn't get what they were saying, and I was like,
well, you multitask, so you got 3 or 4, 10 things on your brain, and then you ask a question, they throw in the answer, and you're like, what? I get it.
You got to tell me, but hey, Cass, I'm glad to have you here, sir. And let's see, Whoopas Troopa said, hello. I love that. Squirtle. We got a Squirtle sighting, AFK. Thank you. You get a gold star for the night. Yay. AFK's now saying, hey, sports ball, yay. Snortapoopas, you only love him for his fur, he says.
Is this a good time to bring up the Rangers and the Devils just real quick?
Yeah, but that's not Snortapoopas. So that's Mark.
Well, just in case Mark comes in, he's listening. Hey, Mark, how's those Rangers doing? Throwing the gauntlet down.
Oh, man.
I just love picking on Mark, so that's all that is.
Well, my team got down 2-0, and now they're down 3-1, so they got a goal and gave up another goal. So, hey. Yeah, crap. Yeah, so we got some sports ball thrown in here.
Sure.
Oh, Whoopa says he drowns hot dogs in ketchup. As a kid, sometimes he just drank ketchup. I don't have a problem with that.
I kind of do. That's a bit
That's
much.
okay. But hey,
But hey, I'll eat at a table with you. That's all
there
right.
you go.
I just won't look
Absolutely.
at what you're eating.
Bowsette. Hi, Bowsette. Welcome, my friend. Good to see. And Snort Poopus is a bad bear, as always. Likes mustard, relish, and ketchup when eating hottie dogs.
I kind of like that too.
Yeah.
My favorite.
All
Relish.
right.
But I got to throw some onion on there too.
Oh, hey. Castle's over on the Twitch side. Yes, thank you for watching over there too. So, hey. All right. So we've got 7 people watching us right now. Hey, like I said, follow us over on the Twitch side. Hit that like button and subscribe to us on this YouTube side. So, anyway, okay, if that's what you like, that's what you like.
That's right.
That's cool. Exactly. So,
as long as you're eating, that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm still got something stuck in my throat tonight. I apologize.
Take a sip. What do you have in Diet Dr. Pepper?
Coke Zero actually tonight.
Oh, how is it?
I've grown to like Coke Zero. Actually, when it's ice cold, I like it. It's a good drink. But with changes in the recent months, I've had to I gave up rid of all sugar drinks, and the results have been fabulous. But I tell you what, drinks, give me a Coke. Coke Zero is pretty good, but my 2 favorites are Diet Dr. Pepper, and I've always liked that, and Dr. Pepper Zero. So I've had to get used to Diet
because
Coke.
It holds the flavor even though there's no sugar.
It does. It truly that's why I like Diet Dr. Pepper so much, because it really tastes like real Dr. Pepper. So you've got that. Coke Zero was always good when it was ice cold. Diet Coke, I've had to learn to acquire that. I can even drink Diet Pepsi now.
Oh, wow.
So, but hey.
I don't do anything diet. I just have 1 Pepsi a day. I drink a lot of tea and water. So I try and I have real butter. I have real fat. I do, real potatoes. I don't do manufactured food. I don't do supplements or any of that stuff.
Right.
In my diet, it's just full sugar, full fat, whatever. I just decide to limit how much.
Right. Portion control is a good thing. Yeah,
exactly.
And that's a problem I always struggle with, portion control. But I've done better with that lately. Snort Poopus never liked the taste of Dr. Pepper. And Bowsette, yeah, I know. I know. It just, at least for now, had to get rid of it. But I will say, I don't drink as many sodas as I used to. Yeah. I may have switched, but I'm drinking less of the soda than I did. I mean, I'd drink 4 44-ounce.
Holy moly, really?
Sugar Coke in one day.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's what everybody's telling me. So,
well,
Bowsette does like Dr. Pepper. Coffee.
But you changed it up, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so. I like coffee too, but then I started drinking tea, and it's such a lighter. I guess I was getting headaches a little bit with coffee, so I've been off of coffee for about 4 months now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I had a coffee like 2 weeks ago, and it felt heavy and a little bit of a headache. So I was like, okay, I'm on tea now. So that's where I'm at.
There you go. Whooper Trooper likes root beer. Yeah.
Root beer and Dr. Pepper, to me, are about the same exotic soda flavor, I guess you could say. So I will have it, but it's not on my immediate have to have it every day kind of a thing. So, and then, there's cream soda. You ever have a cream soda?
Occasionally, yeah.
Once in a while, yeah. Mix it up a bit.
Well, the BJ's restaurant that we have near us, they make their own cream sodas and their own root beer. So.
Oh, wow. So they have their own little brewery.
Yeah. Bowsette drinks mainly drink mixes like Mio Water or Crush. Yeah. We've done that before.
Orange Crush? How about that one? That's like at the bottom of my list, Orange Crush.
Well, Snorter Poopus brings out a good old classic, RC when he wants sody pop.
Yeah,
So
RC is not bad. It's a good cola alternative to the big Coke or Pepsi
hmm
brand. Yeah.
it was the thing with that was that brings back a memory when my dad and I used to go fishing out in the river. We would he would buy me some drinks out there, and he would always buy the RC. And I grew up drinking RC,
Yep.
so it was really cool.
Hmm. Cheap
Yep.
alternative to get to where you want to go, which is
hmm
cola, like Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Smart says, "Love Big Red, not confusing." I was thinking chewing gum, Big Red, but
I
I
was
got you.
thinking chewing gum too. What is Big Red? What is that?
Yeah, I don't know what. I wonder if it's like a sarsaparilla or root beer or something like that. I don't know what is Big Red. So,
Hmm.
well, hey, well, while we think about that, let's do a poll, shall we? Let's
Oh,
test Edwin
I
again.
love your polls.
Well, thank you. I love my polls
I
too.
stretched today and I'm
Yes,
ready for a poll.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
you and
I
your
know.
polls.
I know. Question is, will you find out the result?
Oh yeah, you like putting them
That's
up, but you don't like
okay. All
telling
right,
the
folks.
result.
We're going to go to the vegetable one. What's your favorite? Since we're talking gardens, we're going to ask about what's your favorite uh, vegetable. A potato's not. Is a potato a vegetable or not?
Sure. It's a
Okay.
starch, but yeah, why not? Throw it in. It's so with
Okay.
me, I'm not a big
Yeah.
horticulturist. I'm not a technical garden. I am a everyday girl that hangs
Mhm.
out in YouTube that had a wild hair up her butt that decided to go crazy and spend the whole last year gardening every day from sunup to sundown,
Mhm.
learning and expanding. So, on the technical side, I guess they could call it a spud. I don't know if they call it a vegetable. It is a starch,
Mhm.
but it's a side dish to whatever meal you make. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Let's see. Let's see. Peppers. Okay. We're going to go with tomato. What was your favorite? Which is your
Well, my
favorite?
favorite is green beans.
Ah. Ooh. Well, wait a second. I need to. Let's see. Let me. Oh gosh. Here. Ooh. I'm going to take potato out then. I'm going to take
Because
potato out.
potato would be an automatic winner.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody likes
All
French
right. Here we
fries.
go. What is your favorite vegetable garden grown item? Tomato, cucumbers, green beans, or peppers? So
There you go.
there. The poll is out there. So vote. So, so you talked about getting a wild hair up your butt, like kind of like a. Well, listen. I'm dad man. It comes up. It
Hey,
comes out the
no,
way I phrase it. So,
hairs and butts happen.
hey, but did how? So when did you start this? Because, like you said, you just happened to do it. When did you start? How long ago?
So even as a kid, I loved going with my mom to the garden center, picking up flowers. Um, and I have a little patch here, a 7x7, that I put in a couple of tomatoes, and I learned to love fried green tomato. But I sold my business and I'm retired. So
hmm
I have all this free time. And, I was watching these shows and I was concerned about the economy. So I was like, well, let's see if I can produce enough food where, so I guess in a way, a prepper, but I'm really not.
hmm
But so I was kind of being scientific, like, can I produce enough food where I can keep my family safe? And so that started this ball rolling of expanding from the 7x7 into, as everybody will see with pictures, raised garden, container gardens. And with that much food I'm producing, you have to preserve it because you can't eat all that food when it comes in. So you have to
hmm
learn how to preserve it through freezing or canning. And so I've taught myself how to can. And the missus and I have talked a little bit about preserving food with canning, and it is a bit of work,
Yep.
but it's you think, wow, that's kind of weird. turns out it tastes really good.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody ever gets a wild hair up their butt to can, I highly recommend it because it's so you pop open the jar and you have a meal in 2 seconds for one, and it tastes really good. So that's a big long circle of how I started
Mm-hmm.
and why. And I guess I will share with everybody my mistakes and that no, you cannot produce enough food in your backyard to sustain life. It's impossible.
Yeah, that was one of the things that the missus when she did it, because there were a lot of things like here could not grow green beans, but we could grow the hell out of the habanero peppers because the water stayed on them all the time. But it was the only thing that would grow in the area, and
Well, and
it,
that's the thing. Everybody lives in different parts of the
yeah,
country, and every part of the country has different weather.
mm-hmm,
You're in the South, so there's
mm-hmm,
only certain things that you can grow in your temperate zone, I believe they call that.
I think
And
so. Yeah.
yeah, um, so everybody's different. They have to actually probably the greatest resource for me was YouTube. If I had any questions of what the heck I was doing, I would look up a YouTube video. But then I thought, well, I need some reference books. So I bought a
Mm-hmm.
couple of books, but the quickest is YouTube. You just look it up. Um, and then you also go to your local, well, you don't go to it, but you look up at your local gardening extension and they'll have a list of stuff that you can grow in your area,
Mm-hmm.
when to plant it. Your garden centers will only sell you stuff that works in that area.
Right.
So your garden centers, like even Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you live, will
Mm-hmm.
help you with what you can grow in your area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the more technical side of how I operate as a backyard gardener.
Well, cool. Well, see, the missus pointed out, like talking about the different zones. I guess we're between two growing zones, so as she said, is it's even more difficult
I would go towards
move
the
around.
hotter zone just so it you have less chance of succeeding.
So,
Don't go
but
toward like don't buy plants that prefer the cool. Go with the plants that prefer the hot.
yep.
Yeah.
So, and let's see, it can get expensive, and yeah, we're subtropical down here, Snortopoopas, and hell to Rod Thunderheart. Greetings. Potatoes was almost on the list, but I could only put four, so it was a late scratch for green beans. Greetings, Rod Thunderheart. Good to see you tonight. Hey, and
And
it
I
says
would
hell.
agree with Bowsette's comment of it being really expensive.
Yeah, this one up here.
This
Okay, yeah.
there's no way that what I produced last year. I mean, I think my tomatoes that I
Mm-hmm.
had, I probably well if all my each tomato probably costs about $50, where you can buy a tomato for a what 50 cents in the grocery store. This was
It's getting
definitely
more
like
expensive. Yeah.
well, because you have your startup costs. You have to buy your soil, your containers, your fertilizers. Well, I did all seed,
Mm-hmm.
but the grow lights, it is an expensive hobby. But if I stick with it and I learn to save seeds, I might in about ooh, 7 years make it
Mm-hmm.
cheaper for me to produce than going to the grocery store. But no, this is an expensive hobby compared to just running out to the store.
Well,
So you need to be loving being outside. You need to love working alone. You like to, after hard work, have one tomato or two tomato, just as a reward for all your hard work.
yeah.
So it is an adventure for sure.
Yep. Yep. I can sympathize with that comment about it being expensive because all I could see was our water bill. And then when the
That
missus
too.
had to get more pots or dirt, whatever, it's just very expensive. But it was I, that, and I'm notoriously cheap, so that was kind of a hard thing. And the other thing, like you said, is we actually could see it's easier said than done growing your own stuff. It really is. I
It
mean,
is.
you're not going to get that yield that you think is going to last you a nuclear winter. It's just
It is a supplement to whatever you are able to.
hmm
You cannot live on it. There's no way.
yes, exactly. So now the missus said you can make your own compost. That saves a lot of money.
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. We've done that too before. I know you take your stuff, put out there, or a well. We had a well, but it dried up. But it's you
So
could have a
there's two topics with the water. I collect rainwater from my roof, and I have one of those barrels where the rainwater goes into. I have four of those, so that's how I collect water, and it's great exercise to
yeah.
carry buckets of water, and it's exhausting, but
Oh
it
yeah.
was worth it, and to water my plants, and then add fertilizer if need be. And then
Yes.
with the composting, I started bagging my grass clippings, whereas I was a fan of mulching,
hmm
where you just like let the grass lay wherever. But now I collect it and I compost it,
Yeah.
and that's a pain in the butt. Oh my god, you have to turn your what is that, mulch or grass clippings, and mix it in with paper products and keep it
Mm,
wet so it
yeah.
gets steamy. And oh, talk about compost. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no fun.
That's good.
But if you have nothing better to do, like me, and you need a little exercise and you love sweating and you love being sore,
Yep.
you're gonna compost. But I don't recommend it as any fun. It's work. It's a lot of
No,
work.
it is. It is. How's that said about that tomato better be a big one. Rod
Right.
and Rod's been on the road since 4 this morning. Hey,
Hey, Rod, how are you?
yeah,
Happy trucking. Be safe.
exactly. And Rod's going to be coming up on our show in a few weeks.
That's
I-
right.
I'm really excited about that. Um, we had a make connection. Like I said, I tart trucks for my uncle back in high school. So, but hey, glad you're here. And make sure y'all all hit that like button. And if y'all hadn't subscribed yet, please do so, because that way I got somebody gracious and glorious like Lisa here with me to uh, help me out and have some fun.
Thank you.
So
Yeah. I just saw
absolutely.
Snorpoopus. If you love fooling around with stinky pile of compost.
Oh, okay, right there. Yeah, he
Oh,
loves
snort.
exactly. He also talks about potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in stew. Lovely big golden chips with a nice piece of fried fish. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Rod has a garden. All right, put that out there. Start as a poop.
Yeah. The only way that a garden will actually be economically feasible
Uh-huh.
is if there is a total collapse of the economy.
Yeah.
And if there's like a total, what do they call it? Great Depression. Other than that, and right now it is, but at least you bought the stuff now,
Yeah.
because if you wait till things get really expensive, well, nobody will be able to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm a little prepper, but I'm not a huge prepper, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
I got you. It's, kind of control, but not necessarily panicked. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I have to have like three or four reasons to stick with something. So that was one. Another one was I wanted to learn how to do it.
hmm
I have a lot of free time and I wanted some exercise. So there's four great points
Wow.
for why I really went gung ho last year and continuing into this year.
Wow. So that is really cool. That
Thanks.
and the multiple benefits, like you said earlier, being a loner. You get solitude out there. You enjoy the weather. And you
Mhm.
get the physical exercise. Because I know a
I'm
lot of times.
old. I'm getting old. Can only do so much there, Dad
Well,
man.
well, I tell you what, all of us. I mean, you got to keep moving somehow,
That's
sometime,
right.
to the greatest extent. Because when you don't move, you start to freeze up and stuff. So
That's right.
Rod makes his own French fries.
Ooh, that's a lot of
Hey,
work. Good for
absolutely.
you.
Well, shall we go ahead and start looking at the pictures?
Sure.
Lovely, lovely
Why
pictures.
not?
So we got a great selection of photos for you to see, and we're going to let Lisa talk about them. And we'll probably take some little detours along the way as we go through all this. So there we go. And we got our first one here for the evening.
That is obviously my backyard. And in the
Mm-hmm.
black barrels are potatoes. And there's in the front, there's carrots. Speaking of which, so here's the
Mm-hmm.
story on potatoes. You ever see on
Okay.
YouTube, there's these people that say, put it in a corrugated box or a cardboard box and grow your tomatoes in that. Well, I tried that and it was a disaster.
Hmm.
The box held up pretty much, but if you have chipmunks, if there's a garden critter called the vole, they
Mm-hmm.
will bore a hole in the cardboard box and eat your potatoes, and you'll be ending up with nothing. So
Wow.
that's another fun fact of gardening is there are critters. There are
Mm-hmm.
bunnies, field mice, voles, not by me, although I should have it, rats. I live by a river and there should be, but yeah, there are critters that you got to watch out for, raccoons, squirrels. So the more you produce, maybe you'll end up with something at the end of the day. But in this case, cardboard box potatoes do not work. Do not do it unless you are in a critter free area.
Well, we're near a train track, so we got critters all around us.
Yeah.
There's some coyotes, but
So be prepared to share your crop.
well, I don't know. Lisa's saying you're going to flash tomatoes. Continue on only farms.
Nobody
It's,
will sign up for that site. I'm not doing it.
oh my gosh! Hey, you guys are funny out there. So hey, all right.
So then
So
there's carrots in that picture too.
mhm,
And let me tell you, it looks good, but I
mhm.
can't make a carrot to save my soul. I
Hmm.
don't know what it is. I'm going to try it again this year, but carrots have been the bane of my existence. And, but darn it, I'm going to do it this year. I'm going to get a carrot, I swear. And
There
then
you
in the
go. That's a
background,
spirit.
there are cucumbers, which are like pickling cucumbers, which are pickles.
Hmm.
And I produced so many pickles last year, and I canned way over 24 jars of pickles. And I don't eat pickles. We don't eat
Gosh.
pickles. Yeah. So I might have to set up an Etsy shop and sell pickles or something just to get rid of them.
Hmm.
But in the back too, you see like a kind of shriveled up Roma tomato plant. Well, this was October of last year, so it's end of the season. Things are kind of dying off in a
Hmm.
way. So if you see like some pictures where they don't look so hot, it's because of when they were taken.
Ah, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah. So that's that picture with a bunch of marigolds that I grew from seed too. That's what those yellow things are, marigolds.
Yeah, that's that's cool. Now, is there a reason to have the flowers in close proximity to
Yeah.
the? Okay, what is that for?
You want to attract your pollinators. You want to
Hmm.
attract butterflies, bees. Even there's like these little gnats that fly around.
Hmm.
But marigolds also uh, deter bunnies because I guess bunnies do not like the smell. There's also some garden pests that don't like marigolds, so they'll pretty much stay away from
Hmm.
the stuff you're trying to protect. And it, splash of color, some fun thing to look
Yeah,
at.
that's yes. No, snore poopas is right in Florida. We got a lot of critters around everywhere.
Yeah,
It's because that's going to lead me to a question I'm going to ask you when we see a wider view in a little bit.
sure.
Uh, let's see. Rod is saying there are certain plants you can use around the garden to prevent moles and other vegetable stealing animals.
Yep,
So
like
is that
onions and garlic, but we'll get to that.
hey? Well, let me say real quick. Let me jump in here. We got Words and Pictures. Hello, Words and Pictures. Good to see you tonight.
Hey, words and pictures.
Back from a lock-in at Friend's Restaurant. Just saying. Oh, that could be good. That could be dangerous. But hey, welcome,
It
welcome,
sounds
my
like a
friend.
long day.
Yes, Lisa admits to being pickled. Yeah, because we told you that we came back with 45 jars of pickles, relish, and all kinds of stuff. So,
Yes, you did. That was a lot of work.
oh God, it is hell of a lot of pickles. You, us, and you should have seen all the cucumbers that ended up rotting because they got so many that were given they couldn't do
You
anything.
can't, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
somebody
why you have to preserve it. And
exactly.
that's why the missus and her family are smart to preserve it by canning it.
Yeah. Hey, somebody throw snort of poop as a carrot then. So, and Rod says it highly recommends peppermint oil.
Yep, that's a suggestion too. I mean, I'm not really a super cautious nature lover. I just wanted to see for the first year if I could go chemical free.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's only a peppermint oil, but I had a lot of success without having to use chemicals, I guess, is the way I explain it.
Yeah.
But in the future, if I have failure, hell yeah, I'm ripping out
Yeah.
that peppermint oil.
Well, that's
Heck yeah.
interesting. That's why I'm fascinated by this. I don't know this stuff, and it's good to have you tell me stuff like this, and
Well, you have
and
to
other
look.
people that talk about it.
Yeah, if you have any questions, like you're like, what's going on with my plant here? All you do is you Google search it, and
Or
that's,
YouTube.
yeah. Or go to
I've heard
YouTube,
I've
look
heard
it up.
people about car mechanics with YouTube. So,
Hey, yeah.
well, let me say hello to Rowan McPhee. Welcome in, my friend. Good to
Hi,
see you again
Rowan.
tonight. Good to see you tonight. Hey, so we got 7 of you wonderful people out there. Thank you for hanging. And I've got Lisa from YouTube, who you may
Hello.
recognize playing Fortnite with us from other episodes. Now
Well,
she's
I'm Lisa in chat. So if
right.
anybody
Yeah, just
sees
Lisa in
a
chat.
troublemaker named Lisa in chat, that's me. Hi, Maddie's daddy.
Hey, Steve Mitchum. Hey, Maddie's daddy. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you there.
Give Maddie a big smooch on the cheek for me, please.
Absolutely. Yes, exactly. But then see, Snorter Poopas comes up with a different idea. If you
Uh-oh.
scatter seals around your garden, the polar bears will eat those and leave your vegetables alone. Wow.
True. I don't
Wow.
think polar bears like warm temps too much. So
No, I don't
I might
think
have
so.
to take that fur from you in order for you to survive the heat.
Ooh, them's fight
Hi.
words, though.
Those are
Them's fight
fighting words.
words. So, yeah, that's cool. Let's see the vids of the groundhog garden thief. I've not seen that one.
Yeah, there's one with oh, what is that movie? Caddyshack.
Oh,
With
yeah,
the
the
groundhog.
gopher. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh, well, hey, we're still on the first picture, so let's go to the next one. Let's see what we got next. All right, what have we got here?
I grew celery from seed, and but the taller, thinner ones behind it are leeks, which is um I think in the allium family, but don't quote me on that. And this is in the end of the season. It's October. So most of the stuff is pulled out of the dirt there. But yeah, celery, homegrown from seed, and it turned out perfect. And that I cleaned up and threw in the freezer to preserve it. Leeks you have to make right away. You have to make a dish out of. You can't preserve that. So that's that picture.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too exciting, but I had great success with celery.
Oh, yeah, so, oh, gosh. Yeah, Balzette put the link to the groundhog video out in the chat, so. And she's allowed to. She's a mod,
Heck
so.
yeah.
Yeah, mods are allowed to do that. Allium.
It's an allium in the leek. Yeah. I kind of thought so, but I didn't want to say it just because I'm not a professional. But yeah, I think it's an allium.
That's cool. I'm learning a lot with you guys tonight. Thank you, everybody that's here tonight. And hey, we're going to have some fun with this one. We're still just getting going. Celery looks great. I'm a country boy from Words and Pictures.
Yeah, I believe that because I pulled out the Utah tall celery. This what left here is Tango, which is the name of the type of seed I use. Tango celery.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look. All right. We got
So
this in the
here's my
blender.
raised bed, and
Your
and
what again?
it's a raised bed. So it's not an in-ground bed like the last picture you saw. It was in the ground.
Okay.
Now here's a bed that's up off the ground filled with soil. So that's called a raised bed.
Mm-hmm.
And in the front, the yellowing is aroma, but it's October. It's the end of the season. So there are some tomatoes on there that are trying to finish in time. And they didn't finish in time before frost. So I pulled them all. You leave them out on the counter, and then sooner or later, probably a month, they'll turn red. So you don't have any waste there. And in the to the right or in the front are green peppers, and you can't see the peppers, but there are some on there that are finishing. And
Mm-hmm.
behind both of those are eggplant. Now, eggplant, I had huge success, and it was so delicious to be able to pull your own eggplant off the vine and make into parmesan, eggplant parmesan.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. So, highly recommend eggplant if you're able to do that.
I've never eaten eggplant. I've been afraid of it. I don't know why. Just the word egg is in it, so I might have to try it. Like eggplant parmesan, I might have to try it just for to cut, dietary reasons, just for the fun of it.
Eggplant
Yeah.
really doesn't have any taste at all, Dad
Yeah.
man. If anything, you bread it. So you taste the breading, and then you throw
Mm-hmm.
some tomato sauce on it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's all you really taste is
Yeah.
breading and sauce. So I guess,
Right.
eggplant is one of
And
those things
cheese.
to just try. And cheese.
Well,
Oh yeah. Gotta have
yeah.
cheese. Heck yeah.
Snortapoopus don't dare me to say I can't take a leak any place I want. I did it outside of church. I did it out the church van window once. Yeah, well, the daggum kid, the youth driver wouldn't stop for a bathroom. It was in the middle of nowhere, Florida. And I'm like, he said, use it out the window. So I did. I was literal.
Oh, Snort, I love you. That
Oh,
was so
God.
funny.
Oh, we love you, Snortapoopus. So aubergines are not an easy grow. What? Okay, help me understand.
I
Aubergines
have
is the
no
word.
idea. I have to Google search that. Maybe he's
Okay.
talking about eggplant.
Well, let me see then.
I believe they're in the nightshade family.
Mm-hmm.
But I did put out that disclaimer. I'm just a backyard gardener. So I'm in the middle of a learning process. So,
Yeah, purple egg-shaped fruit of a tropical old world plant. Yeah,
oh,
it,
okay.
it is a large plant of the nightshade
Words and
family.
pictures, you're too smart for me. Stop it.
Yes, it looks like it's a British term. So, hey,
Hey, but thank you
hey,
for that. Aubergine. I'll try and
absolutely.
remember that.
There you go.
Eggplant
All
in
right.
England. Oh, well, hello, England.
Yes. So, hey,
I drink
yep.
tea.
I, I drink everything. So, hey,
Oi, oi.
exactly. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if I drank alcohol? Oh Lord, I think we'd all be in trouble.
Oh, yeah, I'd be in trouble too. I'm
Yeah,
guilty enough.
I can't control myself on sweet tea. So, and words and pictures loves the tea.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm drinking tea right now.
hey,
Cheerio.
Ontario.
Cheerio.
All
So
right.
these are pictures from last fall, and
Mm-hmm.
here's a raised bed that has brassicas, which is broccoli, cauliflower. Here's green cabbage, but I also have another bed that had red cabbage,
Mm-hmm.
and they are covered with a mesh to keep these cute little critters out. There's a white looking moth, or like looks like a butterfly, I guess, but it's not. It's a moth. They land on your leaves. They uh, deposit seed or their eggs on there, and then the eggs hatch, and other little guys destroy the leaves and destroy your vegetables. So yeah, it's the mesh is to keep all the critters off, and it worked.
Oh,
This
cool.
and no chemicals. I was able to get really great production from.
Now, how
the
fine
technician.
is that? How fine is that mesh though? Because I mean, there's some
It's
very tiny bugs.
yeah, no, I don't remember what size I got, but I definitely knew it was the perfect size that no critter could get through.
Ah, I gotcha. Well,
So I
there you
guess you
go.
gotta eyeball it. So sorry, no technical.
That's okay. Eyeballing's all cool, so that's cool. Well, let's see. The eggplant with a British accent. And hello, Squeaka. Good to see you tonight. Come in with courgettes or cucumbers in England too,
Very cool.
but no zucchini. Sorry, I love zucchini
Oh,
though. Oh man. All right. Well,
well, I
welcome in,
grew
Squeaka.
everything last year, so
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
not going to
So
tell you
you,
the 50 plus varieties I grew.
yep.
But it was
Let me
an experimental year. I wanted to see how they
exactly.
did.
Well, good night to Words and Pictures over there in England. Thank you for teaching us something tonight. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
words and pictures. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And then, of course, leave it for Bowsette. The stream with Dad Man Alcohol wouldn't be suited for this platform. I think people would be in jail, probably me, if that happened. Okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's not do that.
No, 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 no. It was tough enough on that Fortnite stream last night.
Yeah, you were getting
uh,
hammered.
it was awesome. Oh, okay. Sorry, Squeaka. Okay. No, what she said was courgettes are, it's another word for, I meant it as another name for zucchini. Courgette is zucchini. Okay, cool. Thank you for that clarification, though. Hey,
You guys are
all
so
right.
smart.
Exactly. We got a hike. And she says hi to the panel. Hi.
Hi, Squeaka.
Yes. Lisa is a dead eye ringer when it comes to Fortnite. So,
Yeah, like cannon fodder, you mean, or what?
oh no, you kick ass in there. You give you a shotgun, you're fine. So,
Yeah, give me my
oh,
shotgun for sure.
oh gosh, and Bowsette misread it as Cougarettes.
Oh, well, I
Ah,
don't think I'm a cougar, but I'm of that age group.
all right. And Squeaka asked, "Can you teach her not to kill things?"
Oh,
That's
I
awesome.
could try.
You know what? Yeah, you and Rod. I didn't realize Rod Thunderheart was had a garden growing stuff too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
really
There's a
really neat.
lot of uh, hidden, secretive, closeted gardeners out there.
Yeah. So,
We just don't share it like I do everywhere on YouTube.
well, I appreciate you being here. It's an honor to have you with us tonight, Lisa.
Oh, I'm having a blast.
You're in so many chats. I know people know the name, but at least now they get to hear a voice
Yeah,
beyond just Fortnite.
very.
Now, hey, absolutely.
I
So
hope
we've got
everybody's ears aren't bleeding.
no, they're not. They're not. And Steve Mitchum's still with us, and he said he called a reference that old Snort of Poopus had. Glad you're hanging with us tonight, Steve. Good to see you. We're not talking sports ball, hey, but we're talking good old gardening tonight with my friend Lisa from YouTube, or as you know her
Hello.
in the chat, says Lisa.
Yep,
All right. So what is this, a red cabbage
that
in
is
that
red cabbage
similar
being,
type of netting?
yep, very protected. Yep, and the rainwater can come in and no bugs can go in. So simple enough.
Oh,
Very
that's
pretty.
awesome.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. So what is the difference? Does the red cabbage taste different than a regular cabbage, or and do they grow differently? Do you have to?
No, they grow the same. Um, I guess for what I do with cabbage is make cabbage roll-ups with ground beef and a tomato sauce. And red cabbage is required for a recipe where you have vinegar or apple cider vinegar, bacon, onion, and apple, and it's a side dish.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to guess, I think that red cabbage has a firmer leaf to it, so it stands up longer for cooking. But don't quote me. I
Right.
just follow the recipes. I grow the stuff and I follow the recipes.
Oh dear God! I mean, geez, is that all you do when you cook? Dude.
Yeah, a lot of it's
I get
scrap.
hungry just looking at your food pictures. It's
Thank you.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
see, that's the thing with the restaurant business. I really became sick of it. got sick of cooking or seeing
Mm-hmm.
food. Um, so I wanted to get that love back.
Mm-hmm.
And in my crazy mind, I thought, well, why don't you go back to the basics and grow it yourself? So
So did
that's
you
another reason for starting my own garden.
did you own your own restaurants?
I did,
Oh wow.
yeah. And
What
then
kind what kind of
C-19 happened.
well what kind of food did you I mean
Everything.
what type of restaurant? Everything. Oh wow.
Whatever. If a customer came and wanted lobster or whatever people wanted, we would make
Mm-hmm.
as a special. And then we had a standard American uh, fare, serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Mm-hmm.
7 days a week, every day of the year. Yeah, even like Christmas or Easter, we would be open. So it was every day of the year. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
And, doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
So had
Hey.
enough. But
Yeah.
then I wanted to get back into food because
Yeah.
food is a passion.
Yep. Definitely. Well,
So here I started with seeds.
Store Poopa said he had red cabbage in some German dish. Can't remember what it was, but it was actually tasty.
Yeah.
Uh, I just don't give me sauerkraut. Hey, believe it or not, in the 1970s, they served sauerkraut in a flippin' elementary school here.
Oh, that's
I'm
rough on
like,
the
how the
kid.
hell do you torture a kid with that?
That is a torture for on kids. Yeah.
And Rod Dunhart says, I'm a farm boy, so no, and I'm native, so practically a natural gardener. So, hey,
But to get back to
yeah,
Snort's comment, it
yeah.
is called red cabbage as a
Hmm.
side dish. And it is with bacon and onion. And there's like a sweetener, a little like some do apple or just brown sugar, so it's a like a sweet and sour to
Hmm.
a side of dishes. And it's delicious. You got to try it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you don't like it. But yeah, I think it's delish.
Okay, that's cool. I know it's sauerkraut makes him sick. Yeah, it depends. So,
It can
let me
give
get.
you gas too.
Oh yes, exactly. Although the mister says the fermented veggies are good for you.
They are good. They're good for
Uh,
stomach flora or
What
whatever
is
that's
it? Is
called.
it the fermentation triggers the digestive
It's like a
process?
probiotic.
Hmm.
It just I think resets your alkaline and acidity in your gut, kills
Hmm.
off whatever excess um, germ is in there. I don't know the technical stuff, but
Right.
it's good for you. Just do it.
Yep. Oh man. Okay. Well.
Kimchi too, and
Yep.
kimchi's kind of gross because it's like slightly rotted
The
cabbage.
Mrs. loves kimchi, so she's like
But don't
squeaking
think
there.
too much about it. Just eat it. Don't think about it.
Really?
Eat it. Yeah, because if you think about
What's
what
that
it
red
really is,
stuff on it? It doesn't have like red speckle or orange speckled stuff, or is that just the spicy stuff?
it could be the spicy stuff. I'm not really sure.
Uh, okay.
That or it's part of the rot.
Okay. Well, either way, but I know
I don't know.
Mrs. love kimchi, and I don't know, she might like sauerkraut too. But yeah, hey. So and Bowsette says it puts good bacteria, and Bowsette loves spicy kimchi. Jeez. Okay.
There you go.
See, I'm more like Sort of Poopas. He's a sucker for Jogger Schnitzel or Brom
Jaeger
Schnitzel.
schnitzel and
Jaeger Schnitzer.
Ramen schnitzel.
Uh, that
Jaeger, it would be Jaegermeister, I think.
oh man. Okay, Jaeger. Okay, red chili paste. Uh,
Well,
uh,
it's slightly rotted,
uh
or not rotted, but it's kimchi is a decomposing cabbage.
yeah. No.
So is sauerkraut, for that matter.
Yeah. All I know is it smells for me, and I can't even eat eggs. So hey, and Baozet got used to living in South Korea. Oh wow, that's kind of cool. So
That is cool.
absolutely. So hey,
Let's
let's
post
take.
some pictures.
Yes, I know. We're getting all this food talk too. So, but hey, we got broccoli here, don't
Yeah,
we?
that was under the netting.
Now, is this in the ground or is this a
That was in the raised bed under the
raised
netting.
bed?
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
so
not much to say. You'd have to make every single piece of container in my yard to produce enough broccoli to preserve it.
Mm.
So it is a space hogger,
Mm-hmm.
but it's great to have. So yeah,
Well, are those the broccoli leaves? Those big
yeah,
leaves that we're seeing there?
you don't eat them. You
No,
just
but
eat the
but
florets,
it
but
would
they're
show.
huge.
But it would show you how. Yeah, right. Because you're talking about being a space hog.
Yeah,
Those are some big leaves, though, that
they
would have
are.
to take up some room in your garden.
Yep, they do. So
Mm-hmm.
this year I decided because I did a spring and a fall, so I did spring cabbage or brassicas and a fall brassicas. This year I'm just doing the fall brassicas because I learned that the spring didn't produce as well. The fall produced much better, and I'll have more spacing in the garden come for the fall. So that's one thing I learned is when and how to plant after my first year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I like what Snort Pupus. I love his knowledge. Talking about ancient Greeks and Romans had a fermented fish paste they called garum, so they used it a lot. So
Snort has an affinity for fish.
yeah, he does. I
And
wonder why.
so, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
finding
and
that out here.
Balzette said they jar it up and bury in the ground every few weeks for classic kimchi. No
Hmm.
flavor, mixed with sticky rice and bulgogi.
Yep.
Very good, but spicy kimchi for me though. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if we all go to a Korean barbecue place, I'm probably just drinking water that night. So, but although bulgogi, I've had bulgogi before. I can find things to survive on the menu. So, what you would talk about that? Yeah, we talk about trial and error and things like that.
Sure.
Are there some of the what have you learned the hard way? What are there some lessons that you've learned the hard way that
Well, let's go through some pictures because I will tell
okay,
you some of my disasters
okay,
that, yeah, because there are plenty to learn from.
okay, and tell us the big successes too. Okay, we like positive, go with it.
Well,
So
that
then here,
broccoli was. There's the cabbage. That
yeah,
was a success. So that's what you saw underneath the netting.
hmm
Um, and this is Copenhagen. It's more of a loose leaf cabbage. It didn't really form that nice tight head that you want in
hmm
in a cabbage. Yep. Yep. Moving
Hurricane,
along.
moving along.
And this is garlic. I planted this last fall, right? Pretty much as the snow was flying. And why you need to have garlic kind of go into a dormant, freeze and frozen state. And they sprout once the weather gets warmer. They have more of established root. But here's the fun story on garlic. So everybody knows last year was like my really first big year of gardening. Well, at the garden center, I
hmm
decided to buy, I think, 5 bags of garlic because I like garlic. I like
hmm
garlic in all my dishes. And I'm like, well, 5 bags will do. Oh, well, you got to split each clove, and each
hmm
clove becomes its own garlic. So imagine a big glass bowl full of these clove. I overbought. So I
hmm
had garlic cloves, seed garlic cloves, not cooking garlic cloves, coming out of my ears. So that was the hugest mistake. What I did was I took what I didn't put in the garden for spring garlic with a bag of dirt and put it in the freezer, all sealed up so it doesn't mess up your other stuff in the deep freezer. Come fall, I pulled it out of the freezer and I planted it, and this is what the result was. So that was a good way of fixing a huge mistake I made,
hmm
which was over shopping.
mm Yep.
Which there's going to be a few pictures here where I have overdone it.
All right. Well, that's what you and sometimes learning those lessons, the best teacher, from
Oh yeah,
experience.
yeah.
Exactly.
And that's how I look at every mistake I made is a learning lesson. Every disaster is a learning lesson. The trick is to not give up.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Let's see. Was looking at that. Stepping on a rake is only funny in the cartoons. Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Funny enough, though, because of the cartoons, I purposely watch how I put my rakes with the tine side down So cartoons actually taught me what to not do.
Well, there you go. See, they were
Hey,
educational.
education.
There you go.
So here's
Exactly.
some spring daffodils. I just took a
Hmm.
picture of because they're so pretty. I have daffodils kind of throughout the yard just to splash of color when things are still kind of gloomy in spring.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice. I love the color there, on that white picket fence. So let me
Yeah. It's
take a
nice.
second to look over. Let's look at the polls. Let's see where we are
Oh,
at the polls. Oh my gosh, we've
yeah.
got 12 votes. Hey, folks, make sure y'all have hit that like button when y'all have come through. But what's your favorite vegetable garden growing item? Peppers are leading at 42%, followed by cucumbers at 25%. Tomatoes and green beans are tied at 17%.
Well,
Wow.
this is a spicy group of people, so I can understand why they
Yeah.
like peppers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it looks like. So, hey, that's all good. Thank you for everybody that's here today. And we're going to have some more fun. Oh, this is the end product.
Yeah. So last year I grew Swiss chard. Was my first time ever growing it. Pretty much the first time I ever ate it because I'm not going to go to a restaurant and order Swiss chard. I refuse. So um, this is a spinach and artichoke dip recipe, but I didn't have spinach because spinach was a disaster.
Hmm.
And so I incorporated the Swiss chard as a replacement for spinach, and it turned out perfect. And it made 4 huge freezer bags, quart bags full, and I was able to make it in advance, preserve it, and then whenever I felt like eating artichoke
Hmm.
dip, I pulled out half the bag and spread it over my homemade white bread.
Well,
Yeah, so I did get my love for cooking back.
I do like about that. It looks good.
Thank you.
I mean,
It was
I've never
delicious.
eaten artichokes, but and I probably would shy away, but I would probably try that because the cheese and stuff. It looks really good.
I think you would like it. Yeah,
Yes.
it's not really exotic. It sounds exotic, but it really isn't.
Yeah. Let's see what Snortopoopas comes in with. I learned a lot watching Roadrunner cartoons. Cliff avoidance. Make sure the tunnel is really tunnel before running inside, and never buy anything from Acme.
I love it. I agree. I totally agree.
And now you got Squeaka being hungry. You know,
Good, because that's
our
what food is. Let's all get
well,
hungry and eat some
yeah,
yucky
all
food.
that and the cheese for the mice. So hey, and and now Balzette's laughing. So hey, all right. Hey, listen, and I tell you, I'm not an artichoke person. I don't like green on a lot of things, obviously, but
Just close your eyes and shove it in your mouth.
I want
All
to
I'm
look.
gonna say.
I want to look at that. Well, I,
Oh,
I, I keep
yeah.
my eyes open all the time. I don't. I never shut my eyes.
Yeah, that didn't sound good, did it?
I don't trust anybody. I like to know what's going in my mouth or where my
Uh,
mouth's going.
yeah,
So,
okay, I'm sorry.
but I will eat that all day.
Uh,
Oh, even
that got a little spicy.
even Rod Giles got laughing out of that, and that's what she said. Hey, no, that's what Dadman said. Hey, but anyway, but
Yeah, and I'll confirm that.
hey, there you go. Snorter poop is I'm so full from Sonic. It looks nom nom.
It is good. Good, good,
Yeah,
good.
exactly. But hey,
Well,
boy,
moving
he does have.
along.
We are moving along. Hey, yes. But hey, what do we have here now?
So this year, this is romaine from seed, and you grow it in a bunch and let it germinate, which is in a sense germinating is to see if the seed produces anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is germinated romaine seedlings in bunch, and then at a certain point you separate out each individual plant and you give it its own separate space to grow and mature.
Now now Balzette's got plans for you in a T-shirt now to go
Oh,
marketing. So
well, if we do T-shirts, they better hold. Never mind, double D's. Okay, never mind. Moving along.
there you go.
We'll
So
have a 2X for the chest size. Yeah.
there you
So
go.
maybe Rod will need because he's got muscles. Rod will need a 3X. He's a muscular man.
Yeah, I've seen his avatar. So
Yeah,
yeah,
muscles.
Yes, exactly. Kind of like the cat mouse skulls in Fortnite. The dancing pecs. So
Oh, yeah, with the cat head. Yeah.
exactly.
So
Kid,
that's baby romaine.
hmm
What else is the next?
exactly. I just was
Oh,
we're hitting the chat here because they're kind of snortopoopas. Hey,
yes, fully grown. All that. This is the next stage of romaine.
okay.
So they're a little older, and they were grown and doubled, tripled in size,
hmm
whatever, and put in. These are their actual homes for till they are mature, and I do. I think they call it like side cutting. So what I do is I cut all the leaves off on the outsides, and I leave the center, which is called the crown. So I can get multiple clippings from each of these plants to make a lot of salad.
Hmm.
So there's two ways you could do it. You could take the leaves from the sides and let them keep producing, or you can take the whole head off. But I
Okay.
prefer to leave the heads so I can have more production throughout the year. Yeah.
All right. Just
Yeah. Moving along.
it's what it is.
It is.
It
I
is.
like
It's
my
like
heads to stay where they are.
there
No
you go.
chopping the heads off.
Nope. Nope. Gotta have a head on it. So hey.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Rod comes in as a big broccoli and cauliflower man. So
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I guess is Caesar salad made with romaine lettuce? Is
it
that
is.
okay?
Yep.
So that's why Snortopoopas is saying Caesar, and so Balzette is about the chicken Caesar salads. So all right.
Hey, Snorty Poopus, I have the fixings for or anchovy paste to make my
Ooh,
own Caesar dressing this year. So
keeping
hopefully
it
that'll
peach.
turn out. That
Yeah,
takes a raw egg though. I'm not sure about that.
had to ship it to him then.
Yeah.
But hey, let's see. And then what do we got here with these?
That's leeks. So no leaking around here. So that's the seedlings. And you grew them in bunches like that. So when it's time to take outside, you can separate each individual plant out and then they have their own hole where they mature. But you mass plant these seeds to see what germinates or grows. And at a
Hmm.
certain point of maturity, I'm just kind of re-saying it, where you pluck them out into individual plants.
hmm How do you know How do you decide which plants are in ground, which plants get are in planters?
Well, each vegetable has a seed or a root depth, and certain, and this is what you have to look up too on YouTube or Google is which plants can take shallow um, or have deep roots. Um, tomatoes have, and tomatoes is one of the deepest roots, so you actually should be in ground. And if you can't in ground your tomatoes, at least have I think 14 to 16 inches for tomato root
Hmm
depth in order to have tremendous production. I mean, they'll still produce. You just won't get a lot if the roots don't have enough, or the fruit will be a little smaller if you don't give them enough root space. So you do actually have to look that up because each plant's a little different. Like lettuce, it's
hmm
shallow.
Okay.
Onions are shallow. Corn is shallow. Believe it or not, you
Oh
get
wow.
these 8-foot stalks, but their roots are pretty much surface.
hmm
So, but that's just a few that I can think of off the top of my head.
So, what is the normal growing season? I mean, where you
Well,
are?
I'm in the north, so
Can you grow stuff all year round?
you could the lettuce I could probably do all year round. It's just for my first year, I got kind of I don't know distracted or what, but I decided to take from October to January off And so this year I'll see if I can't do lettuces indoors. But no, you need to have uh, full day sun unless you have like a sun lamp or something for tomatoes and peppers. And this is just like a suburban home backyard. So I'm not going to go crazy with all that stuff, but it could
Right.
be done.
Yeah. Well, man, let's see. We'll go to here. Hey, here's your
There's
onion.
one of my onions. Yep. And
What?
that was grown from seed. It's called Walla Walla. And stupid name, but that's what it produced. The Walla Walla has an extremely poor germination rate last year
Mhm.
and this year. And it was documented like through Google or wherever that it was a poor germination year for Walla for some reason. I have no idea why. So, yeah, this
Yeah.
year I have like 3 or 4 different varieties I'm growing because I want onions. I cook. I need onions in almost every dish I make. So,
Right.
and then you have to grow it and preserve it and make sure you put it in a cool, dry spot where they won't start growing on you.
Mm-hmm.
In order for come January, you still have onions from your garden. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's really cool. And Bowsette was saying, oh, I hit the wrong thing. But hey,
Hi, Jeremy.
it's funny. It's funny the way it shifts. But hey, Jeremy, welcome in. Good to see you tonight.
Here's
Uh,
another cute tip for the you see the skin on that? It's all like onion skin, right? You
mm-hmm.
usually like
Right.
peel that off, throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it. Keep it and put it in a bag in the freezer. And at some point when you have leftover chicken bone, like
Right.
carcass or turkey, or beef ribs or bones, you can make your own stock. And with your own beef stock, you can use into making other dishes. So you use the peels of onion plus onion, celery tops, carrot, not the tops, but sometimes you do carrot, but carrots are a little sweet, and the bones of your leftovers, and you have perfectly good chicken or beef stock, and you can make
Mm-hmm.
your own soups, casserole dishes, whatever. So that's a perfect way of having 100% utilization
Mm-hmm.
of what you've grown from a seed. So yeah,
Yep. One thing that I was going to go back to hit the thing is they followed up what you saw. Bowsette said that corn is amazingly
yeah, takes a lot
shadow
of
shallow,
nitrogen too.
not much not much of a spread on the roots. And then
Mhm.
I think Snort Poopas followed up with what you had pointed out. You know, it's kind of interesting considering how tall the corn stalks are.
Exactly, I
Yeah,
agree.
exactly. So plants are weird. Yeah, I do agree with that. Of course, now Snort Poopas brings up more about onion rings.
Yeah, yum. Telling you,
Absolutely.
so good.
Yep.
So this is the answer to the problem I had last year with the Walla Walla. So there
Hmm.
in the front in the little mesh bag is onion sets, they're called. And it's actually a second year onion, and you put them in like a bulb of any sort, and you'll get red onions from that. You have to worry about that because it's a second year. They
Hmm.
might bolt and produce seed right away, and you might not get an actual onion head. So that's why sets are considered kind of like not the thing to do. But I had great success with it last year with a set. So I'm going to try it again this year, but this time it's a red variety. And then the other two I have like Utah Gold, I think, and Texas Grano. What the thin one is like Walla Walla. That's you can see didn't do well at all.
Yeah, the Walla Walla, Washington. That's all I can think of from.
Yeah, I hate the name, but that's what I supposedly grows well here, but the germination rate was just horrendous. And then there's another variety I can't think of the name of off the top of my head. So yeah, I have so many varieties there, and the leeks are mixed in there because leeks are part of the allium family. So yeah, that's what's planning on going in the. Well, it is in the garden now. You can put those in like 2 weeks before the last frost date here,
Mm-hmm.
and we do get frost and snow. So that's our growing season is generally May 6th through till the first frost and fall, which generally is around the first week of October.
Okay.
So that's our grow season.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is interesting. It's amazing how that varies based on your climate, your latitude, longitude, everything else. So
Yeah. Everything's different.
absolutely. All right. Hey, let's see. All right. So what do we got in here? I see soil in the cups.
Yeah. So now is the time to start with um, planting seeds of melons, squash, pumpkins, cucumbers. And in the squash family, there's zucchini, yellow crookneck, melons. There's honeydew melon, cantaloupes, obviously pumpkin because I want to make my own pumpkin pie. I like growing cucumbers because I like cucumber sandwiches. I know I'm weird, but cucumber sandwiches and tea. You ever have high tea? That's one of my favorite things.
What's high tea?
Hey, it's British. It's like a midday snack time where you have tea and little sandwiches or desserts and yeah. So it's the girl in me. I like tea time.
That's awesome. I know. Hey,
So
that's all good.
yeah, so these are were planted like May April 30th or May 1st, and they'll go out into the garden like the first or second week of June because the
Mm-hmm.
temperatures will be warm enough in order for them to flourish. But they're getting their start indoors, so they get a jump start.
Right. Now these in the cups. Now, do these get transplanted to a pot or do they
No,
get
these are
to the
big
ground?
enough. Yeah. So these are just basic. You run to the store, you buy some red solo cups and seed starting mix, and you plant it an inch deep from the surface, and you give it a lot of warmth because I have a heater to get them up to like 60 degrees to encourage their growth. And they're in Lexons, and those Lexons were left over from my restaurant. I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep these. I'll find a reason for these Lexons. And here we are. I get to use my leftover restaurant crap.
There you go. Hey, Store Poop is saying that once that his steampunk group used to go to a nice place that had high teas. I loved munching on the savories.
I want to
So,
be part of your steampunk group.
now, hey, well, I think you'd
I
fit in
like
with Starter
tea.
Poopus if you've seen the rubber human suit, suit. Yeah. But what are savory? Okay. What is savory? I know the missus tried to tell me about it before. Like,
Sweet
there's
and
like,
savory.
yeah, there's sweet and there's savory. What's the difference? Or,
Well, everything that's not sweet, I suppose.
okay.
Savory would be, I think of like beef stew or,
Mm,
kind of meaty and salty and,
okay.
you know,
Salty. Yeah. Okay. I think that was the connection. So, oh,
yeah. But it's a little bit more intricate than that. Same
yeah.
with sweet, because there's different varieties of sweet.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
So,
like English breakfast tea. Is my
yeah.
ultimate favorite. But I am a big Lipton tea drinker
Okay.
because
Chinese
it's
black
cheap.
tea. Yeah, there you go. I like cheap. I like cheap.
It's cheap and it's in bags. It takes
Yes.
2 seconds.
Well, Squeak is saying that she had a super fancy high tea in London. It was amazing. You'd have loved those sandwiches.
And think of how memorable it is, right? I mean, every time I've ever had tea out or make my own tea, which is quite often
Mm-hmm.
with the sandwiches and little sweets, every time it's memorable. It's just, I don't know. It's more fun than sitting down to a huge dinner, meat and potatoes and vegetable. Tea is just fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I might gripe a little bit, but I would do it. It would be fun just to
Heck
put on a
yeah.
spoon.
You'd be like, I love tea, but you won't tell any of your guy friends because it is kind of feminine.
You know what? You sold me. I'll go hang out. I love hanging out with the women. So
Yeah,
hey,
you come hang with us. We'll have tea. We'll get you
well,
loaded up on snacks.
I told you that, yeah, I love hanging with the women. I mean, my wife doesn't care either, and it's like, hey, the guys are all hanging out. I'm usually trying to hang out with the ladies. So
That's because we're so entertaining.
yes, exactly. Women are a hell of a lot more entertaining than men. Except Snortopoopas is very entertaining himself. I've
Snort
not met
is.
Rod Thunderheart, but I can't wait to see him in a few weeks and talk trucking with him. But it's like, yeah, hang out with the ladies and have a lot of fun then.
Heck yeah.
So, Snortopoopas, they served all those and all sort of tasty finger sandwiches, many choices of tea. Yes. And here's, I think, the thing is too, like with those tea times, it's good a time to just take a break with a friend and have a bit of a tea time.
Heck yeah.
We do that when we played Fortnite.
Yeah, it
You'd
makes me
say,
take
well,
little
it's
breaks. I tell you, I've got to get more tea.
yeah, you're like, it's time for a tea break or it's time for tea time. And it's like, okay. So
Yeah.
I'm stuck with my water or my
The
diet
introvert
drinking.
needs her supplies. Get her
You're
good
introvert.
tea.
You're not an introvert. I know you are. We talked about that too. Oh gosh, hey, but I tell you, oh man, I appreciate you being here tonight. This is a lovely thing that we're seeing. And listen, look at how we're covering a gamut of stuff. We're going even beyond gardening to tea times and
Oh,
all kinds of
sure. We
cool
could talk
stuff with
about
that.
anything you want. We could talk about football or whatever. I don't, this is, but today we'll just
Uh,
talk about gardening.
yeah, we'll talk. We'll stay focused with the gardening. So we got more transplant, right?
Well, what's the next picture?
This one right
Oh,
here.
that, yeah. So they'll let the plants grow in there. They get big enough. And like I said, in the first week, second week of June, depending on the temperature, you take that
Mhm.
whole thing and you squish out the dirt and the plant and you put it in it's going to be in a bigger pot. They're not going to be in ground because I have to protect them because the bunnies love eating
Mhm.
everything in those red containers you saw bunnies want to eat.
Okay.
So I have to keep them in a protected area.
So
So
they will dig into the ground. They will dig in to
the
get this.
bunnies, they will
Yeah.
jump.
Mm.
They will jump to get, yeah, they will want to have a snack. Kind of like snort, but it's
Yep.
a bunny.
So these are cilantro, oregano.
These are my flowers that I chose
Hmm.
and my herbs that I chose for the year.
Okay.
So there's marigold, nasturtium, zinnia, cosmos, which is the first time I'm growing this year. That was my selection because I'm not going to buy any at the garden center. What I produce is what I produce. And then the herbs, oregano, thyme, rosemary, shoot, I can't remember them all. Cilantro, dill, things that I need to incorporate in meals. And what's in there will overproduce, but I will dry and save and be able to use over the next year.
Hmm.
So, yeah, everything's a everything's geared towards consumption of some sort in a meal.
Right.
So, yeah,
It just and then these get transplanted to another pot
these
or
will
these in the
be
ground.
pots. Yeah, no,
Okay.
no ground. I am saving most of my real estate for the bigger producers that are probably coming up.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's look here. Oh, so are these? What are these now?
Let's see those. That's celery. That is a
Mm-hmm.
Utah tall. And unfortunately, I had really bad germination this year. So this out of a container full of seeds, that's the only thing that showed up was what is that? One, two, three, four plants. Well,
Hmm.
that's not going to get me anywhere. So in the next picture, I think there's more celery. Yep. So I had to quickly germinate more, but 10 days or 2 weeks really passed. So these are farther behind. But that's because the germination on the first set didn't take at all. So now I had to start more, and it looks like I'll have better success with these. But these are the tango celery.
Yeah.
Utah had a poor germination. So that's part of the problem with gardening. You're not going to be successful every time, but you have to just be patient and keep chugging along.
Yeah. Trial and error,
Yeah,
everything.
and
Yep.
never give up.
Yep.
So this is the first year I'm ever growing iceberg lettuce. You know, everybody icebergs in your grocery store.
Hmm.
So my biggest competition is grocery store quality. Well, I've learned that gardening, you never reach grocery store quality. For one, you don't have the right seeds, you don't have the right climate, you don't, and I'm a backyard gardener, so what the heck do I know? So this is an adventure of seeing if I can get form another
Hmm.
big, firm, solid head of lettuce, and hopefully I'll succeed. But it's an experiment. Hope to make it, but yeah, but it's
Yeah.
fun.
Well, the big debate we always
I'm a
have,
nerd. I don't know if I'm a nerd or a geek. I don't really care which label I am, but
right?
I'm weird enough to want to experiment with this.
Well, that's cool
Yeah,
because the missus and I have a debate because I've grew up eating iceberg lettuce,
yeah.
and she hates it. She'd rather do romaine
Oh, I see.
or
Yeah,
anything else because she says it has more taste, whereas iceberg really doesn't have taste. And
yeah. It just holds a lot of water. Iceberg. I
mhm,
agree with her. But
yeah.
I grew up on iceberg too, so I like them all. So
Well, the only problem I like romaine, but the problem is when they do those mixed. I call them mixed
with
turf.
the red, yeah,
It's like you take. I swear the texture tastes like you're eating a front yard.
you are, because it looks like there's a dandelion leaf in there. I
Yeah,
know, and then there's I'm growing those. It's called Gourmet Blend, and it has like every variety you can think of that isn't romaine or iceberg.
I
But
know. It's crazy. It's
I
just like
swear one does look like a dandelion leaf. I know it's
I
probably not
know. I know. It
dandelion,
tastes like I'm eating a damn front yard. I mean, I could might as well just walk out front, pick a couple weeds out of the yard, and just start eating it.
and you
For that
could,
matter.
if you had to, you can eat those dandelions and probably not get sick because bunnies love them. If bunnies eat it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for tree bark, but yeah, you'll be
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah. Oh my! I gotta write this
But besides this iceberg, I'm growing bib lettuce
down. Hmm.
and butter crunch. What else? The gourmet blend, romaine,
Yep.
um, and spinach, but that's coming up. So,
Yep.
what else do we
Let's
got there?
see. Well. Let's see. Snore, poopus, nerd, and geek.
Yeah, probably both.
Yeah, it doesn't. Iceberg is boring. Oh, geez. Thank
It
you.
is boring. I agree. That's
Yeah.
why they came up with salad dressings and fixings
Don't
to
care
make
for
the
iceberg.
iceberg better. Yeah.
Exactly. Leafy, soft, luscious leaves. Okay. Well,
That would
I
be like
just
your bib. Bib is a
yeah,
really
bib. I think I've had the bib. It's pretty good, but yeah,
Mhm.
I just don't like front yard type stuff.
I hear you.
But yeah, that's
I don't know if many people do.
no. So, all right. Looks like we got some more here.
That's the bib.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about that already. But
Yeah.
that's where I'm at in that stage.
Then we got
Spinach.
spinach. All right. Now
Oh,
I like spinach. Okay.
yeah. Me
I
too.
prefer it cooked, but
Oh,
I
I
do
like
like
it both
spinach.
ways. But so here's the thing with spinach. I had a disastrous year last year. I didn't get a single plant, and I followed the instructions on the back of the packet. Just like everything else, I looked up on YouTube and everywhere why my spinach didn't work. And to this day, I have no idea why spinach is a failure. I'm guessing the seeds were
Mm-hmm.
bad, like Walla Walla was bad. I don't know. So this year, I decided to plant them indoors first, as opposed to what they suggest is planting them directly outside because spinach do not like their roots being disturbed. Well,
Okay.
I didn't disturb the roots and they still failed. So I was like, well, here's another failure. I'm going to try them indoors. Well, they're growing. So
Mm-hmm.
I maybe they will survive this transplant that I did for them. We'll see. But it's an experiment, but don't give up. That's the main point. You might fail.
Absolutely.
It could be, it could not, maybe it's not me. Maybe it's whoever packaged the seeds, or the seeds were just, who knows what happened. But yeah, it was a disaster, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Keep
I
going.
like this one because Snorter Poopa said, I get asked if I would care for a little salad with my dressing.
Yeah. Some dressings are way better than actually what you're eating it with.
We had a story. We went to a fort, a Revolutionary War fort in South Carolina, Greenwood, South Carolina. You've got to go around your butthole to get to your elbow to your knee.
What?
Yeah,
Where?
Greenware around your butthole to around your elbow to get to your knee. Yeah, nowhere in South Carolina, basically. And this little diner, which is like the only restaurant we could find, hamburgers. My oldest decided to get a grilled chicken salad. There with Thousand Island, the whole plate was that pink as Thousand Island.
Oh,
It truly was like you couldn't see
best
the
thing ever.
chicken. You couldn't see the chicken, and you couldn't. Would you? I said, would you like a little less for your salad? It was, oh my gosh.
That's almost overkill.
Oh, definitely. I love my salad dressings, but yeah, that
I always ask for it on the side. I'm just one of those,
yeah.
I don't know what it is, nitpicky Nancy's, but I know enough where I don't want my dressing swimming, so.
No,
And
absolutely not. And
if
I've
they
had
get
to do
pissed
it.
at me, then they'll spit my dressing. But
I've
I
had
don't
to
eat
do
out anymore anyway.
Yeah,
So.
I know. I need to quit eating out. So,
Oh, it's
um,
good though.
yeah, it does. It is so fun. It's so nice to not have to cook, but
Or clean it up.
clean. Yeah, exactly. All right. So we got some of these here.
Yeah, so this has been successful so far. I did a mass planning like I did with the leeks, in a
Mhm.
big container, and then you separate them out. And this is considered like a first stage up potting.
Mhm.
So I separate out each plant and put them in their own larger container. But then these will be up potted into even bigger pots, which is more or less their finishing pot, where they'll stay until they fruit and produce. In the foreground, closest to us, I don't know, bottom of picture,
Mhm.
is green peppers. And then the next is jalapeno and pepperoncini. And then way far back is eggplant. Now,
Ooh.
each of these pans hold 32 plants. So I have 32 peppers, 16 jalapenos, 16 pepperoncini, and 32 eggplant. Well, I don't have enough. I just went crazy. I don't, that's
Mhm.
too many plants for my yard. So what I will end up doing, and my neighbor put in, I think 6 or 7, I don't know what, raised gardens last year. And he, what did he do? He planted all zinnias in there, and he brought me a little bouquet of zinnias last year, which was cool. And then this last winter, he ended up snow blowing my driveway
Mhm.
without me even asking or saying anything, and it was like the sweetest thing ever. So
Right.
I'm going to have way too many plants, and I'm just going to bring him a huge bunch so he can grow these, and hopefully he can have success with my peppers and eggplants as a thank you gift
Yeah.
for being so sweet to me. So,
All
yeah.
right. Well,
So if you ever have extra, is my point, is if you have any extra plants that you can't use in your garden,
mhm.
give them to a neighbor or give them to a friend, or, don't throw them away. Just try and find a new home for them. Yeah.
Mhm. Snorter Poopa says his favorite pepper is a pepperoni, but they're hard to grow. Oh,
My favorite pepper is pepperoni too. So,
exactly.
yeah.
Now we're getting some other neat stuff here, right?
Yeah, so this is sweet oh God. Sweet potato.
Hmm.
My brain was on pepperoni for a second.
Oh,
So
I know. Sorry for throwing you there. I knew. I was like, all right, this is sweet potato.
now
So,
I got
hey,
Roni on the brain.
I
Thanks.
know.
Um, yeah, so this is sweet potato. Wow, spit it out, girl.
Hmm.
And what you do is you take a well, this is a seed potato. I actually bought it at a garden center, which is kind of dumb because they charge you too much. I should have just went to an organic grocery store and picked up a sweet potato there because they don't treat it with chemicals to retard growth.
Hmm.
But I went to the garden center, bought this, and you some people use toothpicks and they put it in water to get the tuber to start producing slips. But
Hmm.
I prefer the method of where you lay it in dirt, keep it watered and warm on a heat mat. And after, I think it took forever. It seemed like 3 weeks. And it's like, are these things ever going to produce? And finally, it started sprouting or slipping, I guess, because they're called slips. And I was just so happy that I'm going to get a huge crop of sweet potatoes from this. So, yeah, and it was that's my last year's crop.
Yeah.
And same procedure, you grew it in dirt, you got the slips, and this is just a small portion of the amount of sweet potatoes I produced because I had to do it 2 canning stages. I canned the first batch. This is the second batch that I canned.
Hmm. How did the first batch turn out? Did it get better, or was the first batch was it
They
one
were
of the?
all pulled at the same time. It's just I couldn't can them all at the same time because the canner all and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I wanted to, do one batch, you know,
Mhm.
at a time. This year I could do 2 canners because I know what I'm doing, but
Right.
for last year I just wanted to do it one at a time. And that's
And
the finished product. It's preserved. It summers. So this was canned in like October, maybe November. And then come Christmas time, a month later, you open up a jar
hmm.
and you puree it up, warm it up. You add a little cinnamon, nutmeg, put it in a casserole dish, top it with marshmallows, shove it in the oven. And in like 20 minutes, not even, from, well, maybe a half an hour. From jar to finished product, you have pureed sweet potatoes with marshmallow topping. It
Yeah.
For around the holidays when you're messing with turkey or ham or whatever main course, this is the fastest, most delicious, easiest way to get your sweet potato side.
Hmm.
And I just did it again for Easter.
Now
So easy.
let's talk about the canning or the jarring process right
Mhm.
here, because what I saw a few weeks ago was that what I saw two different methods. I saw one with the pickles, and
That's
those was a hot water bath. It boiled the water and it steamed, and as part of the sealing process to do whatever
mhm,
it has to do. There was another one with a pressure cooker outside. They
mhm.
put in a big old drum pressure cooker and let it run for whatever. How were these? How did you can these?
Well, it's actually called pressure canning.
Pressure
There are
canning.
pressure cookers, but that is a quick meal maker. It doesn't.
Yeah, I meant use the wrong term, but I
Yeah,
mean, but it was
I
it
just wanted
looked.
to clarify that
Yeah,
in case anybody's like, "Oh, I'm
yeah.
gonna go run out and buy a pressure
Pressure
cooker."
cooker.
No,
No,
no, no.
that's a
It's a
different thing.
pressure.
It's a completely
Yeah.
different thing. But I know, but it was like something as pressure, like you said, pressure canning.
Yes, pressure
Okay.
canner to and I haven't water bath like your missus has. Like from what I understand with water bathing, you need to have a sugar level in
Hmm.
order to preserve the food that's in the jar.
Right.
That's your preservative of the food not failing or decaying or molding or whatever. And water bath canning is all it is sealing the jar.
Mm-hmm.
It's not actually cooking the food, and it's not actually killing any germs, because the sugar, or I believe salt or vinegar, should be killing the germ that may be in there. Now, pressure canning is because of the acidity level, or well, it's high acid foods, I believe. Let's see here. It depends on the alkalinity and the acidity of foods, of how you preserve it. So I believe meat, you think of pork, chicken, beef, they are pressure canned in order to kill off any bacteria that might be in the product as it's sealing the jar. So you get it over to like 240 degrees under 11 pounds. So here's the technical side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 11 pounds per square inch in order to kill off the bacteria and seal the jar.
Wow.
So it is technical. It's like what, chemistry, and but you best thing to do if you're not sure of how to preserve your food, there is the USGA home preserving guide to canning your food, so you can preserve it in the proper way, so you're not going to make yourself sick or your family sick. That's
Mm-hmm.
the main thing. And then that's one way of preserving food. Another way is like certain vegetables you can freeze, which I find is really, for green beans, the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Canning green beans, it comes out a little mushy. If you don't really mind it, it's fine. But I prefer snap, crisp green beans. So definitely
Yeah.
would use the freezer for that.
Oh my gosh. Hey, JT Kirk, welcome. Hey, supposed to
Payola
Leola
root.
root as an option. Well, we had two put in potato and Leola root. Hey, welcome, JT Kirk. Good to see you
That's
tonight.
funny.
Oh man, and we're getting near, I think, the end here. There's another view of the
Yep.
sweet
Sweet
potatoes
potatoes.
here,
Yeah.
and then
That's my tomatoes. So
ah, well, now we get to Lisa's tomatoes. Now,
that's right. Here we go,
all
people.
righty, now it gets exciting. So
So
these
there,
get transferred from this to another planter, and they're grown, I guess, vertically off the ground. Is that right?
well, so these are all seeded, and I haven't thinned them yet. So um, I'm going to try and save every single one of them. Of course, when I have a little seedling or tomato, I can't throw any of them out. They suggest plucking them out and throwing out the less, the like if there's ones that's shorter than the other. I have a hard time throwing those away. I don't know what it is. So I grow everything that sprouts from a seed, whether it's strong or not.
Mm-hmm.
And these varieties are Roma, Amish paste. Um, gosh, brain's kind of falling apart here. San Marzano, um, and I can't think of the other one. Anyway, they're all good paste tomatoes, which is they're thick, fleshy, less juice, and perfect for making sauce. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
why I want them, is to make homemade spaghetti sauce.
And we're going to see that specifically. But here are
Yeah.
Lisa's tomatoes.
There's my tomatoes. Aren't they hot? They're so sexy.
Sexy tomatoes. Yes.
Yeah, in the
Now,
room.
let me ask you the question, though, because see, they're the varying sizes, right?
Yeah, they are.
And
San
shapes
Marzanos are a
too.
little smaller.
Yeah.
So what I do is I throw all of them together.
Okay, that's
I
what
don't
it is.
sort mine. You know, I could be weird about it and say no, I'm only going to do San Marzano
Yeah.
paste, or I'm only going to do Roma paste. But to me, a tomato is a tomato. It was my first year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, what the heck? It's like they're all paste tomatoes. Let's all
Yeah.
throw them in together and make
Mm-hmm.
some sauce. And it worked. It was delicious. My kids love my pasta sauce. Oh my God.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, there's every variety. There's Amish paste in there. There's
Okay.
Roma, San Marzano, even your sandwich slicers like beefsteak is in there.
Right. Okay. I
So
was wondering because I noticed they're all different size and shapes, and that's why I was wondering. But
oh
that
yeah.
that makes sense. JT Kirk is asking, are the tomatoes grainy at all?
Well, I haven't eaten them fresh. I've only made them into sauce. So I really can't answer that if you
Mm-hmm.
mean like if I cut into a Roma fresh. I'm not a real big fresh tomato girl
Mm-hmm.
anyway. I'd rather have a clubhouse sandwich without tomato or a salad without tomato. The only way I like tomatoes is if it's in a sauce or um, salsa or you know what I'm saying? I really
Mm-hmm.
like if I order a sandwich out, I will never say, "Yeah, give me that
Yeah.
tomato." Or if I order a sub somewhere, can you like not give me the tomato? So, I guess
Right.
I'm not a big uh, judge of grainy tomato.
Yep.
If that helped at all, I don't know if I did.
Yeah. Well, here's the first part of that sauce.
Yeah, so you cook all that down. Those were frozen tomatoes because you have to collect them all throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, you have so much coming out of your freezer that you got to like cook them. So here's the
Yeah.
roaster pan. They all cook down. They still have all the seeds. They still have all the skin on it. And this is just cooking them down to make them soft enough and steam off enough liquid. But then I actually put them through a food mill, which you could go to the next
Yeah.
picture, which will show how the food mill took all the seeds out, took all the skin out. And so all you're left with is the juice of all those tomatoes in one roast. Isn't that gorgeous? I made that from a
It's
seed.
beautiful.
Isn't it
Yeah.
something? I mean, a
Yeah.
turkey like me, after 1 year of experimental gardening, came up with that gorgeous. My tomatoes are sexy, are they not? I mean, come on.
They were some damn sexy tomatoes. They definitely were a variety of tomatoes, all kinds of shapes and sizes. You couldn't get bored with that.
You can't get bored with variety, can
Look
you?
how glowing sexy that sauce is.
Isn't that pretty? Yeah.
Dang straight. Wow.
Wow.
I can't do it. Need to leave that sound effects to the professionals. Snorter Poopa says, I usually pick the tomatoes off my salad, except for the eeny weeny cherry tomatoes. I think I feel sorry for the little things. Yeah.
Yeah. I picked it. Yeah, pick it off. I give my little cherry tomato away. I can't eat them. I don't
And
know.
now Squeak is really super hungry after the bread with the cheese on it. Now this, but I mean, it does. It almost looks like a soup in a way.
Yeah, and it is very liquidy at this stage, and you have to let it steam off for pretty much 12 hours, if not a whole day. So what this liquid level is, it's like at the tippy top of the steamer. You
Mm-hmm.
have to almost let it reduce by half.
Okay, what does reduce mean? I know that there's a reduction, and I never have understood that
It's
term.
steaming off,
Okay.
where the water becomes water, steam and vapor off. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Let's
know
see.
if that's the technical term or not, but yeah. Cook it
Yeah.
so it's half the amount of water in it.
Once and see, talking about tomatoes, tomatoes is one of those things that can be either really good or very bad or just blah. Because like JT Kirk saying here to snort poopus, you could be you're sick and tired of gigantic tomatoes with no flavor versus the smaller, more flavor varieties. Because I know the missus will not buy the big, just round tomatoes. She will get the oval ones.
Probably the
We get
cherry tomato,
the
the
cherry
yellow guy.
tomatoes, but there's also some of the like smaller, more oblong shaped type of tomatoes
That'd
and
be
stuff.
Roma.
Roma, yeah,
Yep.
things like that that have better
Mhm.
taste than the because you cut them. I mean, they're good for sandwiches, but they really don't have any taste on their own. So,
Well, I find the taste of tomatoes pretty. I really don't like them. I
mm-hmm,
I like it when you add herbs,
yeah,
salt, seasonings. Then I
yeah.
like a tomato.
See, we have a battle around here. I don't like tomato soup. but the missus does. So it's like when she
Can't do
starts,
Campbell's though. Don't ever try
no,
to make
no,
your own tomato soup.
yeah,
It'll be horrible. Just buy
she'll
a can of Campbell's,
yeah.
open the thing up, and eat it because it's the
She'll
best.
throw milk in it and make it creamier and stuff
Yeah,
like that. I
I've
just, but
done
see,
that.
I'm not really a creamy type of guy. I'm just like bland, boring. Put some meat and some pasta in it.
I'm not a cream of tomato fan either, but if you're gonna have a grilled cheese, you almost have to have tomato soup with it.
Yeah, and here we go. Here's the final product here with the cans.
Yeah, that whole big canner or the not canner, the roaster pan produced this.
Mm-hmm.
So what the bigger ones are quarts, the smaller ones are pints, and my kids love it. You throw it. Well, see, the thing is, you need tomato paste and garlic, so you put that in a pan, roast it or warm that up a little bit, then throw a jar in with all your like Italian seasonings,
Mm-hmm.
little salt, add in like a bit of sugar, but you have to taste it first
Yeah.
because the acidity of the tomato to know how much
Mm-hmm.
sugar you put in it. And there is an amazing homemade sauce that you can pull from your shelf anytime you want, but it has to be consumed within 18 months.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
18
because
months.
whatever you jar up, it has a shelf life too. It doesn't last in jars forever. There is a expiration date on the
Yeah,
stuff you can.
yeah. Rod saying everybody's still here. Yeah, I'm headed home 2 days work and 1 day. Hey,
Oh,
uh,
hey,
yeah, I think we're getting near the end, and I hopefully you can stay around till the end because
we just got done talking about my tomatoes. You missed it.
yeah. Well,
They were
there's
all
the thing.
fluffy and hot.
Yes, they are all shapes and sizes. They were squishy.
Whatever size you desire, we got.
Exactly. That keeps everybody happy.
Yikes, that was
Keeps them
weird.
guessing. Well, Lisa, thank you for being with us tonight.
Well, thanks, Dad, man. I hope
I'm,
everybody learned something or
and folks, we still had a whole bunch of pictures that are in reserve for another another show or another time. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here with us tonight, Lisa. Your passion for your growing and gardening is really really cool. And we didn't get into all the soils and we talked a little bit of compost, but this was fascinating to look at and to hear about your experiences, the successes, the failures, and all that happens.
Oh yeah, there's just probably as many successes as there are failures. So don't
Exactly.
anybody just have fun. And I hope
Yeah.
everybody enjoyed and maybe learned a little something as we giggled and
Yes.
hung out and chilled
Had
and
some
chat.
fun.
Yeah.
Well, let me do something before I screw it up. Okay.
The poll?
Close the poll. Yes, I'm going to close the poll. I am going to work the poll. Okay. Dadman is working the poll tonight, like I do in Fortnite.
I got $1 for that.
Yeah. Well, at least I can. I just did something to it and it like disappeared.
Oh no.
Oh no, where'd the poll go?
I didn't do it.
You have got to be kidding me. There
I
it is. Okay.
I see a
Jeez, it
poll.
scared me. It scared me. I was like, okay, what is your favorite vegetable / garden grown item? Peppers, 33% was the winner.
Yeah.
They beat tomato at 26%, tied with cucumbers at 26, followed by green beans at 13%, and we had 15 votes. Thank you, everybody.
Well, can I just say one thing with the
Yeah.
green beans and why it's my favorite
Yeah,
is
go
because
ahead.
growing it, you get so much production. You get a lot of green beans from your plant and it freezes or you can can it. It's so versatile and it's a great side dish to many things. So that's why as a grower, green beans is my favorite. Flavor or for other dishes, tomato. So it was a really hard poll for me to answer because there's a lot of favorites. Onion.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I picked green beans because it's a great producer. But that's just me.
And we may have touched on this and I could have missed it, but what is one thing that is hard to grow that you found hard to grow?
Oh, well, spinach.
Spinach.
Spinach
Okay.
was a disaster last year. Absolute nightmare. And I love spinach. I wanted spinach salad. I had the hot bacon dressing all ready to go for my spinach salad. Oh man, I wanted to make a spinach souffle.
Yeah.
No, didn't get any of it. So it was sad. Very
No. All
sad.
righty. Well, hey, like I said, thank you again. You can find Lisa definitely on Twitter out there, Lisa from YouTube. You definitely see it. Check out all her great, glorious food pictures. So, and
Yeah, and
Lisa,
I'm Lisa in chat, not Lisa from YouTube. I'm Lisa
I
in
know, I
chat.
keep
So
because
if everybody
I
sees me,
know.
say hi. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
in
say
the chat,
hi.
she's just Lisa with
Yeah,
look at Supergirl. Yeah,
yeah. Look for
but your
Super.
Twitter handle is Lisa from YouTube. But
Yes.
hey, all right. Well,
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me. You're the best.
thank you, Lisa.
You
It's
know
nice
that,
to
right?
hear. Well, I
You know that. You're the best.
thank you. I just
And the missus, she's a
yes,
marvelous woman.
absolutely.
Oh
Well,
my God.
thank you for your support for the channel. Thank you for coming on with Fortnite. Thank you for all the kind words. Because I really appreciate that. And this is an adventure and fun for everybody here. And I'm looking at we got 10 people with us now as we get ready to shut down. And I'm just thankful for everybody that's here. I thank you for your patience and help and being willing to come do something like this and going out raising some hell in Fortnite too. And it's
Oh,
all
heck.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
So, but let's see. Let me go here real quick. Bye. Oh, great, Balzette. I know you gotta go to bed. Good night.
Thanks,
Always love
Elsa.
you. JT Kirk said, "Kale is hard to grow. It's so difficult to grow because no action wants to eat the crap." Yes.
I agree. And I grew kale and I completely agree. And I ate it.
Oh,
I
we
ate kale and I hate it.
we
But
went
I
to a
do it.
Chinese restaurant a while back where it served some Japanese. They use tempura. They use kale for tempura. It was the
Oh,
most tasteless. Like
yeah.
why?
Because it was
Why?
cheap. That's why they used it.
Like yeah. Well, and yes, you definitely get some rest. Bounce that.
Ah,
Yes, we do. I will admit the missus is the best, but no, y'all let me think I am. Y'all say the right thing, so I think I am. But we all know she's the brain, the beauty, and the brains of the operation. Absolutely. All right. Well, let me just say a couple quick things before we wrap up. Uh, Tomorrow is May the 4th. I'm taking the day off. I'm going to watch Return of the Jedi for again tomorrow at some point. Uh, I will have to post it out on Twitter. The plan is to do a stream with Star Wars Battlefront with Amanda Gillen Presents late afternoon, early evening, and then I'll be over there on her channel on Twitch tomorrow night at 8 o'clock to do something else, some other Star Wars related activities. Then on, let's see, I got the slides out of order, but I'm going to be careful. Here, join me and Whoopa Troopa this Friday night at 8 o'clock, though. Come support us, even if you don't like football. Whoopa is a hell of a guy and a great guy, and comes up with some awesome graphics and knows his stuff. And join us Friday night at 8 as we talk a little bit of pro-ish football with the XFL. Uh, Getting ready to go in, the championship games, and just the season's winding down. Join us from talking, and we will talk anything in football with any type of questions you have with us on that. Um, Let me look at my calendar behind me. So let's see. Basically, then on the following Monday night will be another Sports Weekly with Dad Man. Monday at 8 o'clock, where we'll just take news articles, take a look at it. Same thing. We'll talk sports, whatever you have, whatever you want to ask about. We'll talk about and have some fun. Now, I do not have the graphic up. Two graphics. Next Tuesday night on the 9th, Raquel Briggs is coming back on. We're talking barbecue. What makes
that's going to be
barbecues great?
fun.
That is
That's
going to be a
gonna
hell
be,
of a show with
yes, it
Raquel.
is.
Dude, I told her the other day she's like a one-man band with that energy and her musical. When we did our stream, she's like, "Do you need some finding the lost thing music?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that'd be good." And she's
Oh,
just having
fun.
fun. It's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
No, she's wonderful. And of course,
Exact,
it's food. How can you go wrong with
exactly.
food?
Well, that's what's funny. We went 2.5 hours on a book review, the two of us. Then we spent the last 40 minutes on ice cream. You remember? Because
Yeah,
we talked
I
about
was
that.
there. I
We
had a
talked.
ball.
God,
It was
that was
great.
such a fun stream. And if y'all have not seen that stream, please go back and watch it. A coworker of mine watched the whole thing. He said he took him 3 days, but you learned a lot about her theories of writing, how science fiction should be, and just was how her stories came together. Fascinating interview. Go read that. And but support our sports stuff, because we'll just hang out. We'll find fun stuff to talk about. And like Star Poopa says, if you can't be an athlete, you can at least be an athletics supporter. So, but hey, and there is another show coming up that I'm really excited about, folks. On the 14th of May at 5 o'clock on a Sunday, we will have no other than the great Rod Thunderheart with us.
Rod Thunderheart.
We're calling it trucking, big rig trucking or something. Yeah, big rig trucking with Rod Thunderheart. And listen, we're going to talk about what it is to be an open road trucker and see some of the stuff. I've met Rod through Twitter and some DMs and stuff back and forth.
That's an adventure, being a
yeah. Oh man, he's got a story. I remember one
cool.
of his recent Twitter posts about how he had to get a load in to be delivered, and you don't know what. Oh man.
Well, and how to keep yourself preoccupied while you're traveling such great distances. It's amazing. I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Because what had happened, I struck up a conversation with him because when I was a teenager, I tarped trucks and strapped them down at my uncle's. Where he was a terminal manager. So, and from that we sprung together and we've thought about it. And, Rod's going to come on. We're going to talk some trucking. Okay.
Yes.
So please join us for that, because that's going to be a fun one. And it is different than what we usually see around and everything. So, but absolutely, Rod.
It's looking forward to that. Hugely important part of our lifestyle and our economy. So everybody should watch it.
Absolutely.
To learn something new.
Exactly. So thank you again, Lisa. Thank you again, chat, everybody. Make sure you get the live streams and the videos both on youtube.com and twitch.tv at dadmanwalking55. We have playlists now on the YouTube side, so hopefully you can find like the book chat and the chill chats or the show and tells easier than before, so especially the older ones. And also, like I said, for tomorrow especially, follow me on Twitter at dadmanwalking55. Make sure you've follow me on Twitter to get the latest information. And please hit that like button before you leave. If you haven't subbed yet, please sub. We're I think
tell your friends, tell your family, get the local drunks, get the cats, the dogs.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
And everybody over here to come watch some Dad Man 55.
I appreciate it, my friend. And I appreciate that so much. And now I'm blushing, but hey.
Oh, my. I'm glad I could help.
Oh, it's always a great, but hey, listen. Yeah. And like I said, we're at 233. We're closing in on 250. And the 19th of the month will be 9 months. So.
Really?
Wow. Yep. We'll have a baby.
That's
no,
not
just kidding.
Long.
No, it's not. But but it's been great help, great people like all of y'all that have been here with us tonight.
Yeah.
And the encouragement, and thank you every one of y'all. Y'all are special, and thanks for spending the time with us tonight. And on that note, I'm going to say good night. Have a great day, night, and we will see you somewhere tomorrow, or if not, we'll see you Friday for football. Bye all.
Everybody. Thank you.